Good morning, everyone. Today is the 16th of, it's Wednesday morning, and I have a question for you this morning. Does genealogy take precedence over brothers and sisters in Christ? Does genealogy take precedence over brothers and sisters in Christ? I was a member of a church one time, and actually was an ordained deacon in that church, and the pastor, elder, said to me, "Larry, I've got two problems. You and my son-in-law." And the problem was that his son-in-law had married his daughter, and his son-in-law had been married before, and I didn't put my approval on it. So this pastor's had two problems: me, and of course his son-in-law, who was also a preacher, and who he was allowing to preach in the church, of course. It was a short time later they found a reason to try to excommunicate me from the church because of my particular position on divorce and remarriage. And we were having a luncheon, and I said, "Blood runs thicker than water." In the flesh, in the human sense. But it shouldn't be that way, should it? Shouldn't our position in Christ, shouldn't our being brothers and sisters in Christ take precedence over someone's genealogy? Well, you know, Peter and Paul both had much discussion over this subject. In fact, Peter was trying to get along with the Judaizers because they had been circumcised, and they were trying to stay in the old covenant of law service. A lot of that goes on in certain Reformed churches. I was in a Reformed Presbyterian church one time, and they had two different kinds of membership. They had communicant memberships and associate members. Communicant members were those who were locked in because of their genealogy. Now, they didn't say that, but that's really what it was about. They prided themselves as being covenanters from Scotland. Well, I wasn't from Scotland, even though some of my relatives, I think, originally came from Scotland. Good Phillips, you know, a guy told me in the Reformed Presbyterian Church, "You've got a good Scottish name," because my name was Phillips. A lot of people put a lot of emphasis on genealogy. The Jews still do that today, don't they? They say, you know, that's what they told Christ. "We be of the seed of Abraham." He said, if you were the seed of Abraham, you would do the things that Abraham did. But Abraham wasn't accounted righteous because of his bloodline. Abraham was counted righteous because he had been given the faith of Christ. Christ was his seed, not his family. You can be totally rejected by your family. In fact, Christ said it, your enemies are those of your own household. You can be rejected by your entire family, but still be blood-bought. You don't have to have the acceptance of your brother, your sister, your father, your mother to be in Christ. Christ is the one that has chosen us in Him before the foundation of the world if we're one of His. Now sometimes you can experience a lot of rejection from your family, and you can experience a lot of rejection for these Judaizers. You can experience a lot of persecution from those when you try to take a stand for the truth. But that nothing can separate us from the love of God, which is in Christ Jesus. And so it's a natural thing in the flesh for people to put precedence over their bloodlines. You know, you see this all the way down through history. You know, I've often got are named, you know, the third, like Johnny Marcus the Third. They want you to know they're from the Marcus bloodline, you know. Well, I would much rather be called a Christian than Phillips. You know, I'm not interested in the Phillips bloodline. The Mormons spend a lot of time in genealogy, going back, finding out their genealogy. Paul calls it endless genealogies. You know, I want to be in the genealogy of Christ. I want to be chosen in Him before the foundation of the world, not in time. And so if you're holding to your genealogy, if you're putting on preeminence on your bloodline over your blood-bought genealogy, then you got a problem. That's kind of what's on my mind this morning. May the good Lord be with you in a special way today is my prayer. God bless.